Cardano news update for you guys. This one is around the Chang Hard Fork and the readiness for it. We've got a little bit of community sentiment now. It's been announced a couple of days ago and I was pretty excited to hear it, but I just wanted to hold back and wait a little bit to see how people were reacting to this and if everything was actually ready, because I don't think everything is ready. So let's go through all this stuff that's out there at the moment and see if this hard fork will happen next week or not. Right, let's get into it. Hey everyone, thank you for coming back to the channel. I'm Peter Bury. If this is your first time here, hit that thumbs up, subscribe, notification bell. Does wonders for the YouTube algorithm, and I promise I'll keep you guys up to date with everything that's happening in the Cardano ecosystem. Now, this is the big topic at the moment, and this is what I wanted to cover. This is the readiness of the Chang Hard Fork. Intersect have announced that they're ready to do this and put in preliminary dates to make this all happen, with a decision for a go or no go on Friday 23rd, which is today of this recording. And someone should be, the committee, the board, they should be making the decision whether this happens or not. The scheduled fork date is on Tuesday 27th of August, so next week. And we should see, hopefully, maybe the Cardano blockchain go into the next era. Voltaire bringing in governance and a couple of other technical things, which I'll talk about in a second as well. But is this already? And that is the big question. We've had the pre-prod network submitted and ready to go for the hard fork. This will happen tomorrow from the time of this recording on the 24th at 2 a.m. So we'll see the epoch boundary reached and that switch over, and this will switch over the pre-prod network over to the latest version, which is version 9 of the Cardano nodes, and that will bring in the Conway era or the hard fork for that particular part, that testnet area of the blockchain. Now, we've had this already done on the preview network, which is the testnet before pre-prod, and that was done at the end of July. And it's been almost a month to three-ish weeks since then. So there have been a lot of eyeballs on this over the last couple of weeks. Now, I know a lot of people understand that governance is coming in, but there are some other changes, more technical changes coming in as well. And this post from Fluid Tokens talks through a couple of them. We've got Plutus V3 bringing in some really interesting tech, and this is all around the ZK proofs. So this will bring in the ability, these primitives, to do the zero knowledge stuff on the Cardano blockchain. So I'm really excited about that, because privacy is a big thing in blockchain. The ledger is completely public, but bringing that ability to have private transactions is really key. And having these primitives to make that happen is really important. We also have interoperability features, and this is bringing in ETH signatures that can be verified with Cardano smart contracts. It brings in a whole new level of interoperability and atomic swaps between the chains. EVM is big, and of course more interoperability and be able to interact with it from the Cardano side is really key here. So we're going to see a lot more interoperability. I'm pretty excited about what projects are going to come up with that. We also have SIP69 and then new fee calculations. So the way that smart contracts are going to work is overall going to be a lot cheaper. Now, I did a big long presentation about this at the last Cardano meetup here in Brisbane. I covered all of this stuff in a lot of detail. You can watch that presentation. I do have it online. It's on the live section of my YouTube channel. I'll put links down below, or it should appear in the top right hand corner over there, and you'll be able to watch that. But is this all ready to be forked? And this is a really big question at the moment, because from my understanding, I don't think we are. Maybe over the weekend, we'll see a lot more progress and updates here, but exchange readiness, we need this liquidity, from what I've been told, up at 70, 80%. So all the liquidity does need to be on exchanges that are ready for the Chang Hard Fork. The stake pools are there essentially, but only 1/3 of the stake pools have upgraded to this particular version that's needed. The stake that is in those stake pools, of course, these are the block producing ones, they're all ready to go, and it's way over 82%. So that's really good. That's really key. But if you look at the exchanges here, we still got a lot more to go. If you look at the big ones, the big one in particular is Binance. We really need that one ticked over. It's been been a while now since they started this upgrade and they still haven't fully completed yet. Maybe they've upgraded half of their stake pools and node producers and are progressing through it, but haven't completed all of them yet. So it may be a factor that they've done like 12% of all the stake in their exchange is ready to go, but they haven't fully completed it. So it hasn't been updated and indicated here. But my main worry is all of the extra stuff that is needed. So we've got the exchanges, we've got the environments. Yeah, that's great. But what about all the tooling? We've still got the Cardano serialization library. This is in beta. Like my team have been working on this as well to upgrade our stuff. We use the Cardano serialization library and that's still in beta at the moment. So there's still bugs in that. We've got Palace, we've got Cardano transaction library. So this is all still in progress. We still have more tools here that are being tested. We're getting a lot more green, which is great, but there's still a lot of stuff here that's in progress and not quite ready yet. The wallets I'm not too worried about. I can understand when the hard fork happens, it doesn't automatically mean that these new features are going to be implemented. We need all those use cases out there built for the new era of Cardano. So the DREP side of things, all that. We need that to be created first. We do have Gov tools, etc., and you can sign up as a DREP as soon as the hard fork happens. So we do have some of that stuff, and that stuff has been built and is ready to go. So I don't think all of these wallets need to be upgraded at the get-go and launch of the hard fork. There's other things here as well, like the Ledger Nano S. This is what I've got, and it sounds like it will never be ready for the Chang Hard Fork, so I have to migrate assets over to something else, such as like the Keystone, which I do have one of, so I probably will be moving over there. The wallets here, Daedalus, Adelaide, CN tools. Daedalus is ready now. So version 6 was released, and I'll talk about it in a second. But this is a couple of other things that need to be all ticked off and ready to go. We've got a lot more dApps now. So last news update I did, only Charlie 3 was ready. So they're right at the top there, but all these other dApps now have gone through the upgrade process. I mentioned MintSwap might have been ready the other week in that news update. And yes, they are certainly ready for the Chang Hard Fork, which I'm really excited about. But we've got a lot more here. We've still got more. We've still got all these dApps that I need to confirm that they're ready for the hard fork. Maybe it will be ready by next week. We'll see. We'll have to see. Now, what happens if nodes and stake pools aren't ready for the Chang Hard Fork? What happens if the stake pool that you're in doesn't upgrade to the latest version? What will happen here? So this is a graph that looks at the upgrade progress of all the Cardano nodes. This time highlighted, this one here on the left, is the Valentine Hard Fork in February this year. Now, if you have a look at that, the upgrade process, the amount of time that it took to upgrade was very fast. There was a security vulnerability that was a part of that as well. So Marcus does mention it there. So all the stake pools did upgrade very quickly in regards to that one. But if we have a look at the upgrade time here, of course, there were a lot of versions that node operators were upgrading to, but the amount of time here is a little bit longer than what we experienced back then. All the nodes upgraded very quickly during that time. This seems to be taking a lot longer for that all to happen. And I do think it was correct that Marcus mentioned it was around that security thing. But this is a big thing here. Now, this is what I wanted to understand. From a technical point of view, what happens if they don't upgrade? What happens if these stake pools don't upgrade? Their pools simply can't process Chang era blocks and will be seen as missed blocks. Marcus replies, a pool, any node with active role not aware of Conway era code and ledger rules will not be able to validate any new blocks and content, thus be stuck there and not part of the mainnet's longest chain. So essentially what that means, if you're in a stake pool that hasn't upgraded their stake pool to the latest version after this hard fork, you will not get any rewards. So keep that in mind. Have a look at the pool that you're delegated to and check the blocks. Check the block. You can use the pool tool website or any block explorer. Have a look at the pool on there and see what blocks are being produced on that pool and if they are at that latest version. You should see version 9 on their blocks. That means they're on that latest version and are ready for the hard fork. or even just contact your state pool operator and see if they're ready for that hard fork. So this is really crucial, really key for anyone that is staking at the moment. If they are on a pool that isn't minting, you will not get those blocks. You will not get your rewards, and there's no point of staking there. So please keep that in mind. Pressure your stake pool operator to upgrade, and also pressure your exchanges to make sure they're all upgraded too. Now, this is an interesting post that I thought I'd bring up, and some people complaining that this whole process, this whole upgrade at the moment is happening a little bit too quickly, especially when they announce the hard fork and it's just in the next week. Okay, let's maybe spread that out. What's the point of rushing this? So triggering a blockchain hard fork within a week of announcing it shows some serious mismanagement problems and a complete lack of concern for tools and services that are supporting a large portion of your ecosystem. And this does come back down to these toolings and whatnot that are being used. So there's a lot of the tooling out there that is still in progress and needs to be upgraded. And for example, if your favorite DApp, your favorite DEX aggregator is using from some infrastructure that isn't ready yet, what happens then? It won't be able to process those particular transactions. So that's a little bit that I'm worried about at the moment. And I just wanted to highlight that and wonder and ask, are we rushing this? Do we need to take a step back and make sure that everything is ready before we do this hard fork? So the response here from the Intersect account was, we understand some may have difficulties upgrading their stacks. If there is a specific reason or dependency that means your upgrade cannot be achieved, please reach out to us at Intersect or Hard Fork Intersect, blah, 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 blah. Okay, all right. Now, Cynthia, I have to say I love your post sometimes. But this was a really interesting response, and I really do kind of feel things a little bit rushed. So let me read this for you for those that are listening in on the podcast, the audio podcast. Many of us work tirelessly in this space with little to no support. Of course, some of us are going to get mad when instead of support, we get shat on. There is zero benefit of rushing the hard fork. This is an extremely important event for Cardano, yet the communication surrounding it has been atrocious. Broken communication channels, lack of announcements, lack of coordination. All of this has led to the infrastructure and tooling builders being pressured to fix things or else face chaos. Sorry, not sorry. We're allowed to be mad. This could have gone much more smoothly with better communication and more notice. Delaying even 1 week would have made many happy. There is absolutely zero reason to rush this. This has been delayed for multiple years, but you can't delay a couple more weeks to make sure that things are done properly. Utterly reckless. And I do share that sentiment, and that Cynthia went through and checked on Discord, and so try to see what on earth is going on. I'll put the links down below, but I'd love to hear your comments. What do you guys think about this Chang Hard Fork? I know if you're watching YouTube, all the YouTubers have been talking about it for ages now. But these builders, they aren't watching YouTube. They aren't in that communication space. They aren't anticipating these kind of things. They know it's happening and they're building things for the hard fork, but they aren't aware of these certain dates and these announcements that come out. And I think it's kind of crazy. Like you set a date, you say, oh, we're going to decide it this week and we're going to fork next week. Are you sure? We haven't even forked the pre-prod network. That's yet to happen from the recording of this video. Anyway, that's my rant out of the way. Let me know what you guys think down below. Now, in other news, Daedalus version 6 has been released. If you are using this full node wallet, you will need to download and upgrade and replay the entire chain so that it will be completely synced and up to date with your Cardano node with the rest of the blockchain. So it will take a long time. I've been upgrading for 2 days and I'm still at 60%. And I think the last 40% takes even longer. So this could take me very much a week to upgrade fully. So please keep that in mind if you are using Daedalus for anything, if you're using it as a submit API node, it will take ages for that to upgrade. So please keep that in mind if you're doing anything and make alternative arrangements if needed. Now, yesterday I put out a video on Lace Wallet, the paper wallet, and saving that seed phrase on there. It was pretty well received, and I really enjoyed making that one there because I did go through and learn a lot myself in making a paper wallet with those PGP keys. So it's really cool. Now, there was a comment from Reese from IOG around the key rotation. So I put a comment around the keys expiring in time, etc., etc. So, you need to keep that in mind. But he pointed out that you can regenerate that with a new key. So you can rotate your keys. Key rotation only requires a regeneration of the paper artifact, as the underlying cryptographic seed is not coupled with the PGP key. So that's really good to know. I thought it was. If you have a look at the settings and then securities, you have the option to create a paper wallet from an existing software wallet. I did not see that. Thank you, Reese, so much for pointing that out. And this is what he's talking about here. So if you have an existing Lace wallet that is already here, you've got that seed phrase and you are worried about that, you want a different way of doing it, you can just go over here, click on settings, scroll down to security, and then here we go, generate paper wallet. You can put in the name of your PGP key and then put in the public PGP key to generate your paper wallet from it. That is brilliant. That is so cool. I had no idea that you could do that. So that is super flexible. So if you already are set up in Lace, you don't need to create a new one. You can create a paper wallet from your existing wallet that you have and have that all secured away that way. So beautiful stuff. Thank you, Reese, for watching the video and pointing that out to me as well. And a couple of other really good comments in there too. So do check out the comments, leave a comment on the video. Maybe you might learn something from it. Now, another news update here. This is from UNHCR, and this is a really cool shout out, a call out to anyone that is building in the Cardano space. Calling all Cardano innovators. Got a groundbreaking idea to support refugees? We're teaming up with Cardano community to bring your project to life. Share your vision. Together we can make a difference. So this is a really cool initiative. So if you got something that can really support refugees around the world, this is a way in. Submit your idea, submit your concept, submit whatever you're building, and hopefully something out there can make this really cool and impactful for refugees around the world. So I thought I'd put that one out there. I love this like real world impact kind of stuff. Do check out the links down below for it. Now, with the last news story I'll cover here is the speakers. There have been more speakers announced at the Cardano Summit later this year in October. So do check that one out if you are going. It's a really good lineup of speakers here. Of course, the names that you would have already known and seen at many Cardano summits before. I'd just like to point out Igor Mikhailov. I used to work for Blue Shift a while ago, and Igor is there as well, representing Ernst & Young. So it's good to see some familiar faces in the crowd here. But we've got some brilliant speakers. If you haven't checked out the lineup, please do. I'll put links down below. Unfortunately, I won't be going this year, so if you are going, enjoy. I know it's going to be one hell of a party there as well afterwards. So it's a big highlight of the year. Unfortunately, I won't be going this year. Okay, that's it for me for this episode. If you enjoyed it, please hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, notification bell, and I'll see you guys in the next video.